Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly unbox Awkward Guests 2. This is a game that I covered during the crowdfunding period, and the developers, Megacorpin Games, was kind enough to send me a finished copy now that the production is done for that crowdfunding process. This game supports 2 players, it's for ages 12 and up, and the average play time is 30 to 40 minutes. Now, it's worth mentioning that you do not need Awkward Guests, the original game, in order to play this. This is a standalone 2-player game. It uses dice, whereas the other game does not. Now, for those of you that don't know what Awkward Guests 1 is, that game is more akin to Clue in the sense that you've got this NPC that has been murdered. I think it was Mr. Walton. And players will be competing against each other to figure out who killed him, what weapon they used, and the path they took to get there, that kind of thing. There is a solo/co-op mode for Awkward Guests 1, where players can work together to figure that out within so much time. Every action that you take during the solo mode requires time, and you have to find out all the information that you need before that time expires. So Awkward Guests 1 is more akin to Clue. From what I remember for Awkward Guests 2, however, this is a competitive 2-player game where the sisters here, the Berwick sisters, have been killed. There's twins. They were actually featured in the first game as suspects. In this game, they're actually those that have died. They're both dead. And this is a 2-player game. So one player will be orchestrating the murder of one of the sisters while trying to figure out what happened to the other one. And vice versa, the other player is going to be orchestrating the murder of one of the sisters while trying to figure out the murder of the other sister. So one player has the answer key to the one sister, the other player has the answer key to the other sister, and they're both trying to figure out what happened to the other sister. So that's what is different between Awkward Guests 2 and the original Awkward Guests game. And I'll leave it at that, and we'll just go into the unboxing portion. I don't know if this stuff will be included in the retail version, if there are any in the retail version. I don't know if any of this is available. So just so you know, this is a crowdfunding production copy. All right, so here's a quick look at the core set. This is like the core game here. And this is the rule book, and we'll go to the, there we go. This is the sort of like the component section, just so you can see what you're getting. There are suspect cards, there's notebooks, there's some dice. Feel free to pause the video if I'm going too quickly, but I'm trying to keep this video at a respectable length. It looks like there are player screens, and I'll pull those out in a minute. It looks like there are cards for both of the different sisters. The sisters are called Berenice and Beatrice. So yeah, Berenice, I've never heard of that name before. I've heard of Bernice, but not Berenice. Maybe I'm mispronouncing that. So anyway, yeah, there's 2 different sets of cards there for the different sisters. And yeah, that's, okay, there are tracking sheets, kind of like in the original Awkward Guests game. And as you can see, this one's a bit larger than in the other game. But yeah, so this goes on. This goes on. This game goes into, you know, what is the game objective? And again, it's just to reiterate what I was talking about. Who killed either sister? What was the motive? And which weapon did they use? And so on. And again, players will be orchestrating the murders for the other person. There is no like generic answer key. It's just one player has the answer for the other, while the other player has the answer for the other. So it's like you're going back and forth there. So yeah, then it goes into the actual gameplay. After the murders have been orchestrated, then each player tries to figure out the answer key for the other player. Okay, so that's it. I'm not going to get into how to play right now. This is, again, more of an unboxing video. But yeah, that's the rulebook. And looks like we've got a hardboard there. So we've got the Berenice board, which I guess you flip over whenever it's your turn, and then Beatrice here. So this is a double-sided board. We've got, okay, so there's a bunch of 2-sided. This is the Beatrice side for tracking information. These are the different suspects up here. This is a layout of the area, very similar to, might actually, yeah, it's not the same as Awkward Guest 1 because I remember there being other rooms up here, but yeah, so it's similar. You're trying to figure out, this is where they died probably. And in Awkward Guests 1, you're trying to figure out what room the suspect started in down here and what path they took to get up here. It's fun. You should try out Awkward Guest 1 if you can find a copy. But anyway, Beatrice on one side and it looks like Berenice on the other. Same deal there. Lots of different sheets. Then you've got the the shields. So the other player can't see what's going on. So just a quick look at some of this stuff. There's a lot of information here. And again, I'm trying to keep this video to respectable length. So here's a quick look at that. And sorry for the glare. Everything appears to be laminated, which is fine by me. Just saying. So this is protected, which is nice. Same thing here. It's just the same information. Okay, and then down here we come to the dice. Dice, again, were not included in the original game. You're going to be rolling dice, and you'll be able to take different actions depending on what you roll on your turn. So yeah, different dice, different actions. Okay, and then lastly we have cards. I don't know off the top of my head what these are. Okay, so there's some Beatrice cards here. And let's go and flip these over. Okay. Yeah, some room cards. Okay. And I'm assuming that we've got something similar over here. Excuse me. Okay, yeah, similar cards for the other player. Oh, we've got some suspect cards. Yeah, these are the suspects. We've got Desmond Duncan, Emily Eckhart, and these are all new suspects. I don't remember these guys from the original. Yoriko Yagami and Zachariah Zilber. Okay, so yeah, that's a quick look at the components for the base game here. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this stuff. And again, I can't guarantee you'll have access to this if you can procure the base game somewhere after the fact. But let's take a look at this book first, I guess. So I was perusing this. This appears to be some kind of lore book. It talks about what, the introduction, what you're doing here, a formal presentation, who are the Berwick sisters, and it talks about, I guess, their past or whatever, and what happened. Then it goes into the different suspects in the game, who they are. James Avery, is that what Stanley Hudson and James Avery? Interesting. So I guess they kind of took inspiration from some real life characters. That's interesting there. Emily Eckhart, Jackie Kennedy Style, and Phyllis Smith, Angela Merkel. Okay, interesting. Ah, okay. Ichabod Crane. Uh-huh. This is my first time saying this. I have no idea who these people are. Yep, I'm totally ignorant of foreign culture. Mr. Scrooge. Interesting. So so long story short, you're looking at their background, their story, who they are, that kind of thing. It looks like there's information about the different weapons that you'll find. So yeah, I mean, peruse through this at your own leisure. I don't think this is any sort of answer key. This is just lore stuff. And then lastly, we've got this box, which I'm guessing is just extra. It looks like, and again, I perused this a little bit, these are laminated, and also in here are markers. So if you don't want the throwaway paper, you can just use these and use an erase marker or whatever. Looks like there's already someone on the tip of this cap. So yeah, if you don't want to waste paper, you can just use these. So there's laminated there, and then we've got this nice little baggie. I'm assuming this might be a replacement for the dice, which, oh, this must be dice. The original game came with these dice, and I'm assuming you pass them back and forth. I'm thinking that as an extra, they included an extra set of dice for the other player so that you wouldn't have to keep passing them back and forth. I'm assuming they have, yeah, it looks like they have the same dice faces on them. So these are just extra dice so that players don't have to pass the original dice back and forth all the time. And I'm assuming this is to contain that. And I'm assuming that this coin is a first player token, or just to indicate whose turn it is probably. Last but not least, we have these standees. I don't know what purpose they will serve in the actual game. I couldn't tell you. Maybe they're replacements for the cards, the suspect cards. That's just my best guess. So there you go, folks. A quick look at Awkward Guests 2. I'm looking forward to checking this out. I'm a huge fan of Awkward Guests 1, especially that game's co-op mode. It's paraded as solo mode, but I actually turned it into co-op. I stream it on Twitch, and my friends will use Tabletop Simulator to kind of help track things. It's really nice. It's really cool. So get Awkward Guests 1 if you can. That would, because there's a solo mode and a competitive mode, and you can cooperate with that too. If you're more competitive, however, you may want to check out this 2-player version. Well, this is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.